Hello everyone, I'm ArmorDonio and welcome to the top 5 games that came out of Early Access. Keep in mind that this is my list and I've played every single one of these games. And if you think different games should have been in the top 5 or if it should have been in a different order, please leave it in the comments below. So let's get started. Executive Assault, releasing in Early Access on March 5th, 2015 and officially releasing on July 17th, 2015, Executive Assault is unfortunately a rather unknown game. The concept is great, with you being able to take control of your units and being able to walk around your office and base. The game got a great update pace with an interactive developer and it slowly built up to a steady release. Personally, I think the game reached its full most potential and is really fun to play. Many members of the community agree with that. The game is still kind of active, with the developer releasing updates and some multiplayer matches during the day. Currently, the developer, being Escapist Studios, hasn't announced to be working on any other projects, so we just have to wait and see. Viscera Cleanup Detail was developed and published by South Africa-based indie developer studio RuneStorm, and was released on April 4th, 2015 through Early Access, with the full release available on October 23rd, 2015. RuneStorm had developed 2 other Viscera Cleanup Details before releasing the official one. The first one being Shadow Warrior and the second being the highly acclaimed Santa's Rampage. This game doesn't take itself too serious, and that is what most people love about this game. Making a mess is more fun than cleaning it up, and that is what most people discovered while playing this. The game can be played in single or co-op mode, which is really fun. The game had an active development and even a DLC after release, which was great, or at least I think so. Now the developers are working on releasing the game for Mac. They have not announced that there will be a new DLC coming, or if there is another project in the works. The community is still active thanks to the workshop they added at the end of Early Access that allows players to create their own maps and results in unlimited replayability. It has to be noted though that during the development of this game they had another Early Access project going, called Rook's Keep, which unfortunately didn't make it because of the low amount of attention it received, despite the collectible toy figures and posters in Santa's Rampage. Killing Floor 2 is the sequel of the well-known and highly acclaimed Killing Floor. Tripwire, being the developers, decided to do an early access period to use the player feedback to fine-tune the game into the way that the players want, especially the Killing Floor 1 players. The game launched in early access on April 21st, 2015 and officially launched on November 18, 2016, so that is quite recently. The game had many fans from the start coming from the first game, and it started out as an overwhelmingly positive game on Steam. I also bought it on launch day, a decision I do not regret. The developers followed a steady release program and added more content, being mainly perks, weapons and maps, over time, so nothing could really go wrong. However, during the early access period they decided to bring in a microtransaction system that many people disliked, and a versus mode that almost nobody asked for. For these decisions, the game suffered some negativity, but despite this, it always has been a rock solid game, and there's few things that can change that. The addictive gameplay and the addition of the Steam Workshop will guarantee a long lifespan for the game. I think we will have to wait a while to see Killing Floor 3 coming. However, in the meantime, we will be getting Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, that many people also are looking forward to. This game will not be in early access, and I personally think that's a good choice. The Escapist is the second game by Chris Davis's one-man studio. Davis raised £7,131 for the game through Kickstarter in November 2013. This allowed him to commit full time to the game development for the first time in his career. The game had a Steam Early Access release in 2014 and was released in 2015 for Microsoft Windows, Xbox 360, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. In this game, you assume the role of an inmate and must escape from prisons of increasing difficulty. The game was both a hit in early access, mainly because of the Kickstarter backers, and on official release day, being praised for its unique gaming concept, almost unlimitless replayability and gameplay. Over the course of early access, there came new presents, ways to escape, tools, items, and things to do. It looks simple from the outside, but actually there's a lot more to this game, and that is what people love. There are currently 5 downloadable content packages available for the game. The first DLC, Forest Fake Correctional Facility, was originally added as a bonus prison for early access players, but was added as a DLC due to popular demand for an action prison. They also made an Escapist Walking Dead game, but it was mildly received. The original game will probably never die out due to the Steam Workshop that adds a limited amount of content, so people can satisfy themselves with that while they wait for the recently announced Escapist 2 to come out, which will release without an early access period. Warhammer Regicide has been in early access from May 4th to September 8th, 2015. Within this period they added an armory, multiplayer, a campaign, and more factions, that the different skins for Space Marines and Orcs. You can imagine that without these features, the launch into early access was pretty lackluster. With this game, they tried to target Warhammer 40k fans and chess players. However, many Warhammer 40k fans got away from the game as soon as they realized it was chess. The game's unique selling point, being Regicide mode, was enough to draw them back in. Luckily, the community was just big enough to maintain a stable multiplayer base throughout early access. However, after release it died down pretty fast. Only on double XP or points events you can find a match, without having to ask someone for a match on the forums. The developers, being Hammerfall Publishing, were active during the early access period and succeeded to deliver the game with its promised features. However, recently the developers have gone silent, with the last thing they did was asking the community what race they would have wanted next in the game. But they didn't make any promises on that. It is not known if Hammerfall Publishing is working on another project right now. Verdun is a personal favorite of mine, and I'm glad I could witness the early access period, being from September 19th, 2013 to April 28th, 2015. The reason I chose this to be number 1 is because of the amazing community activity and the road from early access to release and after. Developers listen closely to feedback no matter how big the community is, and after release they still release big patches for free, such as the Horrors of War update, which I personally really enjoy. This game was, before Battlefield 1, the go-to World War I shooter, and since there aren't many of those, like at all, many people were interested, but even the release of Battlefield 1 didn't have a huge effect on the player base. I'm hoping that Blackmail Games, being the developer of this game, will be making another project, as a successful early access launch creates trust between the customer and the developer. I hope you enjoyed the list, and if you got any suggestions for me, please let me know, because I'm always looking for ways to improve my channel. I've been ArmorDonio, thank you very much for watching.